What were some of those struggles that you encountered opening up a new store, being in the business for the first time, and overcoming those struggles?
It comes from the free laundromat model. You know where I'm going with this.
Oh, this is going to be so interesting.
So we can go to that rabbit hole if you want.
Let's go there, my friend.
Let's be realistic. Free laundromat is not free renovation. It's not a free retooling. No.
None of that is talked about.
Take it for what it is. Because yes, it is free, but look, man, table, $500. Like, what? Hender, go to Staples and buy $120. Yeah, but that's not the way that I roll. That's not how I wanted to keep my impression.
You said a key word, the impression. How important is it you to be different versus better than the competition?
This is an interactive laundromat. It's dynamic. That's why when the attendants come in, I tell them, I said, look, if you want a passive job that you're going to be sitting down in a laundromat all the time, this is not it.
You opened the door for me, and I'm going to go there. Flexible, but not passive. There's two things. I can give my time. I can give money. And we have to figure out, when you talk about that flexibility, which one of those two are you willing to give up to get the other?
How much does it cost, to attend your kids, in my case, softball practice, or go to your daughter's violin rehearsal? That has a value for me. Right. It costs me a lot of money, but I'm okay with, I'm at peace with that.
Right, it's a sacrifice. You mentioned 5 stores. I get the feeling, and my gut is telling me, that number means something to you to hit 5 stores. Why is it 5? Hender, why a laundromat?
Well, I think laundromat is, or at least I got into it for the flexibility that it gives, or that it gives me. Not necessarily the freedom, as you heard it before, laundromat and absentee business, and you don't have to be there, and you don't have to do any work more than go there with a wheelbarrow and pick up the money and leave, right?
I wish.
But the flexibility that you can do certain things on your time, on your schedule, it's still, it's still hard work. At least it's involved. My laundromat is very dynamic. Interactive laundromat where I'm there, and I like to be there, and I want to be there. But if I have to do something, I can. If I need to change the schedule, so that flexibility, and I have to be careful with saying flexibility and not freedom, because many people just think that freedom is getting to a laundromat and it's freedom and you can do whatever you want, whatever you want. And they're right, but if you're not going to be there, or if you're not going to put in the work, then don't expect to have the financial result that it could give you.
Right. So you opened the door for me, and I'm going to go there. So when you say flexible, but not passive.
Correct.
Right. Because I hear you said freedom, flexibility, but then you packaged it with, if I want the results that are going to be on a higher level, emailing back and forwards, and you were telling me about how you were taking over this location. And from the photos you sent me, the store looks nothing like it looked in the photos when I originally saw it. So freedom and flexibility got you into it. How has that freedom and flexibility, has it gone up to give you more freedom and flexibility, or has it gone down some now since you're starting the business and you're growing it to where you want it to be?
Yeah, and I want to incline more into the flexibility more than the freedom part, because the flexibility allows you to do certain things when you want. And I think that for me equals wealth. That for me is kind of being in control, per se.
Got it.
Where you can schedule certain things, certain time. With my mom being in here, I'm able to do certain things for her. So that gives me the luxury of bringing her to her PT appointments, or bring her to this appointment and to that, something that I probably wouldn't be able to do having a 9-to-5 job.
Right.
So that flexibility of doing that, I think that is a star that I can wear on my shoulder that I can do here. Can you do there? Can you play golf? Yes, I can. But don't get me wrong. I'm here before very early doing something. I play golf and then I come back here and do something else.
Got it.
So, how lucky you are that you get to play golf whenever you want. Yeah, but I was here at 4 a.m.
Right. You had to do something else to allow that flexibility.
And that's something that I want to do. You know what I
Right.
mean? It's not that somebody's telling me you have to be there or you have to do it. I think that have and want is different. But if I have to sum it up in one word, it's flexibility. That you can do the things when you want and schedule them when you want. Depends on the level of income that you want to get or
Right.
what type of profit
Mm-hmm.
you want to get from your laundromat. I have an ex-boss that once told me, in life it's more important to know what you don't want than what you want. And it can be counterintuitive, right? But what you don't want. So I don't want to be in a job from morning to night. Or I don't want to be just all the time doing something that I have to do. Don't get me wrong, I did it for a while.
Right.
Have to do it, and I did it. But I knew that it was a stepping stone to get to a level that maybe I don't have the financial that I did have when I was there, but now I
Right.
have that flexibility of doing what I want, you know. And like my mom is one thing, another thing is my fitness or my you know, my being fit is a priority
Right.
on my life. So being able to do that and to train and to schedule my training and my nutrition and my hydration, all those things into a schedule that I can control.
The flexibility becomes an asset
Indeed,
in itself.
it has a value. Yes.
Right. You valued the flexibility to say of having the laundromat allows me to do X, Y, and Z that if I was doing something else I wouldn't have that. And I don't think that's something we all always put in the asset column. We're looking more at the P&L, where's the money? But having the flexibility to do those things gives you wealth and peace of mind and health that allows you to pour more into the business however way you want to do it. I don't think a lot of people realize that the average entrepreneur, like I sat down and went through the data with Jess one day, and I'm probably going to screw this number up, and this was like sometime last year when we were going through the data. And it was like the average small business in the United States, I think, makes somewhere like between $30,000 to $40,000, and they have one employee, and that's the owner themselves. That's the average income that they bring in. I might be screwing the number up, but it was some phenomenally low number. And I was like, I think there's like 30 million small businesses in the United States or something like that. And I was like, that's a really low number. And I don't think people realize sometimes when you get into entrepreneurship, it's not always about the money, because you end up making, as you said, less than if you were working somewhere else. But there are some pieces that go along with it, the flexibility. So you're giving up one thing to get something else.
Yeah, how much does it cost, you know, to attend your kids' baseball, softball practice? In my case, softball practice, or be able to, you know, be there and be an assistant coach in there and be with them, or go to your daughter's violin rehearsal, or drop her here or pick. That has a value for me.
Right.
Cost me a lot of money, more than I would like to accept.
Yeah.
But I'm okay with. I'm at peace
That's what
with
you
that.
chose to-
You know,
right.
Some people are making a lot of money, right, working at this job and everything, and
They can't go to the rehearsals.
I had to pick up their daughters, and you know, they're making a whole lot of money. I should be making a little bit of that,
Hender,
man.
can you get my daughter after practice for me? I appreciate
How about
it.
$10 for gas, man? You know, we're in this together, right?
Yeah, we're in it together.
$50 for the insurance, you know.
Right.
No, but I enjoy that, and that has a value for me. You know, whether it is the value of my family or the value of my health,
Right.
has an important value for me, and that's what I you know, like I said, I could be working for somebody else right now, you know, even for a garbage company or anything, and have insurance, have this, have that, have the other, and the income and
Right.
making a whole lot of money I'm making right now, but I will not have that, you know, ability to do certain things when I want and how I want. Then probably I wouldn't be able to be here with you, because, you know,
Neither
unless
one
I
of us,
have
right.
PTO or
Right. We're doing it over the phone.
personal day or
Right. It's a sacrifice, and I think that's the key word to figure out what are you willing to give up at one point in time to get to something else. So, in that you mentioned that you have like 3-4 people who rely on you, and I'm
Correct.
assuming you're referring to your team members
Yes.
who run the store for
That's
you.
correct.
Making the transition into having the laundromat and now having people who, like, having your family rely on you is one thing. Like that, we want to totally separate the two. But to have a team that says, if you screw up something and revenue doesn't come in, how do you pay them, right? How do you make sure they still can put food on the table for their family? They still have a roof over your head. How do you feel as an entrepreneur to have so much that responsibility on your shoulders?
Well, I'm not new to that responsibility. Just because coming from, like I said, the martial arts background, I had 3 martial arts studios before that we teach martial arts to kids and kickboxing, fitness kickboxing to adults. So I had that for every bit of 15, 17 years that I have team of people depending on me. So I'm not new to having those people depending on me or the paycheck per se. But it comes with the responsibility of, like you said, when they call you, hey, jefe, and then my daughter go, oh, they call you jefe, daddy, or boss, right?
Yeah.
I was like, man.
You don't know what comes along with that.
They said something along the weight of the crown is, or the king,
Like, weary is the head that wears the crown. Some saying
right,
like that,
or the
right?
head, right, that it's like, look, if you knew how much, responsibility and imparted stress that is in that responsibility that you have to have, that, dude, we're following you.
Yeah, my gray hair ain't from my age, trust me. Trust me when I
We're
tell
following you, man, We hope whatever you're doing is the right thing and it's going to
Right.
keep on bringing things because, especially, us that we have to, hire that, at least in my case, we had to hire that first generation of people that, you know what I mean, are depending on this and believing in the vision of, like in my case, 5 laundromat, could be
Right.
3, could be 2, could be 7. But, that's kind of where I want to go. So they kind of buying into that. But in order to do that, we have to start here.
Right.
With the dynamic, with the interaction.
Let's talk about the model of your store. When you say flexibility, I know when we talked off camera, you mentioned that you do a hybrid model of attended and unattended. Share with us a little bit about how you're doing that, how you do it, and then what results you're seeing from it.
Yeah, so it's kind of semi-attended in a way that I have an attendant coming here every day from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m.
Okay.
7 days a week
What time does the store open?
at 6 a.m.
Okay. So from 6 to 10, clients are on their own.
Correct, right.
Okay.
So
To a
I have
certain
an
degree.
automatic open, close. So what I do is I try to switch and rotate my team. So I say, next week I want you to be there on Wednesday at 6 a.m. And work until, let's say 4 p.m. or 2 p.m.
Got it.
So I switch, and so sometimes we get to see customers that you don't see them, that they come, let's say, every Wednesday at 6 a.m. And if we were to come only at 10 a.m., we never will see them.
Right.
But now with that rotation, they don't know when somebody will be here at that time.
So you open at 6, but from 6 to
No, I open at 10 to 8.
the attendant is
10
here from
a.m.
Okay.
I'm sorry, yes. The store is open from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m.
Got it.
So the door is
All right.
open, wide open.
6
So
p.m.
I
is-
have an attendant here from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. But I rotate that attendant. So I said, look, it's flexible. Again, go back
Right.
to the flexibility. Look, next week, is it Monday okay for you to come at 6?
Right.
Is it Wednesday? Is it Tuesday? Can you come one day? Can you come one day? No, I can't. No, okay. Can you do this? Okay, cool. So then we get to see a little. Sometimes we don't see anybody. Sometimes we see one person. But we want to make sure that we keep rotating. Also for security, they don't know when somebody's coming. I
Right.
remember one guy told me, I used to work with him, and he told me, Hender, never let them know when you're coming.
It's so important.
Don't park in the same place. Don't come in the same road.
Don't drive the same way
Go in
home
the
every
here,
night.
come,
Yep.
you know what I mean? So they don't let them know when you're coming. And I didn't know that until, recently that.
My dad used to say that when we were younger, and it took a while not a while, but it didn't really dawn on me. Like, listen, we got quarters, and you're dumping this, and then the quarters turn into bills, and then the bills have to be moved. He'd be like, never empty the same day, never empty the same time, never go the same way home, never drive the same route to the bank, never go the same time. And in the beginning, I'd be like, what is this? Like, we James Bond or somebody? Like, come on, Dad, it's not that serious. Get the money, let's go.
Yeah.
But then, like you said, it's security.
Yeah, it creates that inconsistency on a good way, on a positive note that oh, I didn't know, what are you doing here so early? Oh, what are you doing here this late? Or
Exactly.
so you get a person here. So
I like that, though. And I've never, I know stores who are unattended, fully unattended. And then there are stores who are fully attended, and then there are stores who do the hybrid like you. They have someone that comes in a couple of hours after the store opens and then stays either till closing or just before closing. And then they have like a cleaning crew after hours come and clean up the store. But when you said, it really hit me when you said, I have them sometime come in at 6 a.m. And you didn't lead with the security piece. You led with, you get to see clients who are here at 6 a.m. that you normally wouldn't see because your team comes in at 10 a.m. How important has that been, and what benefits have you seen from interacting with those morning clients that are typically not interacted with if you had everybody just come at 10?
Well, it goes back to the model that I want to establish in this laundromat of this is an interactive laundromat. It's dynamic.
Okay.
In here, we want to remember your name. We want to call you by name. In here, we want to open the door for you. In here, we want to help you with your load. We want to go to your car and help you with the bags.
Right.
We want to help you with the machines. Do you need help? Create that interaction. And that's why when the attendants come, and I saw one of your videos when you were talking about how to build a team, and you have all these interviews and everything, and in here is the same. I tell them, I said, look, if you want a passive job that you're going to be sitting down in a laundromat all the time, this is not it.
Right.
This is an interactive. This one, we want to go there and say hello. We want to welcome you. Good morning. May I help you? Do you need this? Do you need that? And because we want that interaction that will create a connection. So sometimes they're not going to come here only for the machine. They're going to come here because they know that we're going to treat them well.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's kind of that interaction that I want to. And I had to let go one of my previous attendants because, she was debating with me, and which is good, right? Debating.
Right.
Like, if I cannot sell it to her or make her see the vision, then I'm doing something wrong, right?
Right.
And sometimes I was wrong, sometimes I was right, sometimes I tried out. And, but why will you say hello and welcome them? In many of the laundromats don't do that.
Why not?
You and me understand, right? You
Right.
and me get it, but
Right.
she did it, and that's okay.
Right.
I said, well, because I want to be different. I wanted to
Right.
to do. No, they don't like it. That's okay. And if they don't like it, they can go to many other ones around that they will treat them poorly.
Right.
But not in here. You're going to be treated well. If you're going to come here, you're going to be treated well.
Right.
We're going to help you. We're going to, or we're going to give a little like for Valentine, we had chocolates.
You should have told me how they came.
And, we're going with these, those yellow, little chocolate round one that is in yellow, so we have in a pack, and we're going over, and she's like, when somebody says no, she will come so happy. Ask me why.
Because you want to say, I told you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You see, say no. And I don't like when people say no to me and everything. And I guess that, society has created us that we are afraid of rejection, right?
Yeah.
But I will see it as a joke. I said, you say no to me? How dare you?
It's free,
What? So I will make a joke out of it. We'll
Right.
talk about it, and then we have something to talk about it. Oh, she's the one who said no to me.
When the
I
next time
went
she
to the
come-
store. I spent money. I made a
Right.
big line, and I gave her a chocolate, and she said no.
Right.
So it's a conversation that whether they say no or yes, it's that interaction, that dynamic, and which is what I want to create in this laundromat.
Right. And how long has the store been open?
Since a little bit over 2 months.
2 months.
Yes, 2 months. Yeah.
So 2 months, right? And your first laundromat, if I remember
Yes.
correctly. How important is it you to be different versus always trying to be better than the competition?
We're not going to provide distractions.
Right.
That we're not going to do, but you come to a laundromat not to watch TV or to watch the fight or to watch the. You go to Davis and Buster, right? You go to other places. Besides, many people have their devices with them, so I'm not going to provide that.
Right.
But I'm going to provide you a clean place, bright place, a place that is going to make you feel comfortable, and all of us are having some type of issue or another, right? So let's just not make it bigger. Let's try to make it a little smaller for you to forget for that hour and a half that you're going to be here.
Right.
Now, look, you chill back, you hair down, have fun. I know probably sucks to do your laundries. I know some people like it and love it. But let's just have fun. Let's look for an hour. What are you going to do?
Right.
So that's kind of how I like to think different, that I'm different from the other laundromat that may be a little bit cheaper, a little bit more expensive. But you come here just because you want to have that interaction. In here, we're going to welcome you. We're going to know your name. You're going to have clean equipment. You're going to enjoy the time that you're in here. Or at least I would like you to think.
Right.
Sometimes more than others. Sometimes we have more time.
Right.
Sometimes we have less time. But rest assured that you're going to have an interaction here and we're going to know about you.
Right.
One of the things, the other time I was picking out the quarters, and there was a little girl in there, and I'm picking out the quarters, and I had this bucket of quarters, and I go to her, I said, think a number from 1 to 20, fast. And she goes, 7. I said, okay, you get 7 quarters.
Right.
And she goes, I should have said 20. Yeah, you should have.
She'll know the next time. Right.
And then I come back, and then all of a sudden I put a couple quarters on the table. I said, look, there are a couple more quarters here. And she came running and everything.
Right.
Long story short, 3 weeks later, the day before yesterday, the lady came. My granddaughter really wanted to come here just because she wanted to see you and she wanted to know to the fun place. So, little things like that. I love kids to begin with, but you still have that little interaction there that is, it creates a memory for them. She remembers that.
Yeah. I heard you mention the word dynamic. So, staying on that whole dynamic side, you're not just doing self-service here. What other services do you offer to your clientele in the community?
Yeah, so my main one is the commercial laundry that I told you. I have commercial clients that I have focus on beauty salons, gyms, spas. So that's kind of my main business in a way. That's kind of what I do.
How did you go from renovating the store, opening it in 2 months, and then landing a bunch of commercial accounts?
Yeah, well, I didn't land it just now. I had them from before. I had them for a couple of years.
Okay.
And I can tell you a quick story on how I got them. It goes back to going with a giving hand. Without expecting anything back, just go with a giving hand. And I'm coming from a martial arts background, so I had a martial arts studio. And I'm teaching a class, kickboxing class, and one of the lady was leaving. So again, this is talking about 8 years ago, opening the door. So there is no different. Opening the door, closing the door, wishing them goodbye, welcoming them. So I was opening the door for her to leave, I was like, hey, what is the rest of the day coming? Oh, I have to go and load the van. What do you mean? Yeah, I got to load the van because the towels, and my husband is not doing it anymore, and I have to do it. I was like, well, you need help? I can give you a hand. I have 2 hours to. Okay. So I went there, help her with the loads, with the towels, and then she's like, oh, my driver doesn't want to do it anymore, and my husband doesn't want to do it anymore. And the guy who wants to buy it from me told me that if I don't sell it to him within the next 2 days, he's going to lower the price. So I was like, dude, don't take advantage of this lady. She's going through a rough time. And
That's crazy.
So I said, okay, why don't you let me do it, organize it, and then we'll see what the value is. So she's like, sure. She paid me. I did the route for like 2 weeks. And she's like, look, now you can, I think, sell it for this amount. And she goes, well, wouldn't you be interested in buying it? And then I was like, man, I should have made this number lower. Let me get back to you on the number.
like slowly growing the business.
One lady has like 7 vans that she runs out of one place, and then
Right.
she goes in there. Now she's building a plant now.
That's awesome.
But so it can be done, yes. But with me, the model that I want to go is that I wanted to have control on my own thing, the quality. I wanted to have, be able to say what kind of towel this person get, and organize it this way and package it this way.
Right.
And again, can you do that in another laundromat? Yes. Actually, you went there and trained those other people from the laundry.
We did.
Yes, it can be done. But I'm saying my model is kind of
It's
a
not
little
the-
bit slightly different. Like I wanted to have maybe
Right.
more control of how I do it and what I do it. And
Yeah, it's not the same when you do it
yeah,
yourself.
it's kind of
versus-
renting and owning a house, right? What's the difference? Well, when you're renting, you're there until the landlord doesn't want you anymore,
Right.
until your lease expire. And when you own a house, you're there until you stop paying the bank.
or taxes.
But at least you have some type of control, right?
Right.
Of that one.
you want
But,
to put a hole in the wall. You can put a hole in the
you
wall.
had that flexibility. Go
Right.
back to that,
That's it.
cliche word, but that's kind of.
I
And
love
again,
that.
I have more headaches. Don't get me wrong, not headaches, but I have more responsibility.
Abilities,
I had
right.
the notes, I had the equipment, I had the lease, I have more other expenses, but they were taken in consideration with what I was paying to the other plan or the laundromat.
Exactly.
So it kind of evens up a little bit there. So it's not, oh, now you have a laundromat, you're making more. As a matter of fact, I'm making less.
Right. You got more overhead now.
But I had that control, I had that
Right.
flexibility, and now I'm building something that is going to put me in the map with a couple of the laundromats.
Right. And then this allows you to bring in additional streams of revenue, because before you were just doing pickup and delivery. Now you have self-service, you have drop-off in the store. You were just doing commercial, but now you can add residential pickup and delivery. Are you doing residential pickup and delivery or just commercial?
I'm going to start
Okay.
doing that. I'm going to start doing that. Like I had the vans, I showed it to you and
Right.
everything. So I'm going to start doing it. And I'm not sure if I really want to go into there yet. Like
It's-
I'm doing
It's
calculated
tricky.
because I'm not sure if I wanted to be more into the commercial.
Right.
And again, can be done both ways. It's just which way I want to kind of focus on.
Right.
Then like my commercial account, I go in with my hands empty and I leave with my hands empty.
Right.
So I drop off and I pick up same
Right.
day, and I don't see you until a week or until 3 days, 4 days, whatever, how many pickups and delivery that account has. But with residential, you go empty-handed, you leave, and then you come back.
Right.
That second trip is kind of like,
I'm not coming back with anything.
and
Right.
then the time too, like folding all those little things. And I like to be folded. I watch your video how you fold the
I see.
socks and everything, and so beautiful, and the scents and everything. And I like to do it. It looks so nice. Took me 5 hours.
Yeah.
$40.
It's really different than commercial. So you mentioned that your goal is to build 5 stores. So here we're at number 1, you had to pick up and delivery business. But I'm sure, like we're sitting in the store now, I look around like your machine's all shiny and beautiful looking. The dryers, the washers, the change machine is like the tile, everything looks good. But I'm sure there were some struggles to get you from the time you signed that lease to where we are today. What were some of those struggles, that you encountered opening up a new store, being in the business for the first time, and overcoming those struggles?
Yes. Well, it comes from the free laundromat model. You know where I'm going with this.
Oh, this is going to be so interesting, because I was just thinking about it with a store I'm working on. It's the same thing.
So we can go to that rabbit hole if you want.
Let's go there, my friend.
It's a free laundromat, right? The free laundromat model, and yes, indeed, free laundromat, because you get the store and but it never once, and it's true, it's a free laundromat, but never once they said it's free renovation. Never once they said free machines.
Right.
Never once they said, to put it the way you want it or to decorate it the way you want it, free decoration. And when I mean decoration, I mean, lightnings and tables and
Exactly.
signs. I mean, who will say that I will spend on signs on the wall, $900?
You would never guess that. Right.
Oh, but it's free. Everything is free.
You just get the
look,
key and you turn on the lights.
Let's be realistic.
Right.
What is free in America, right?
Right.
Or anywhere, right? So take the free part for what it's worth. Because, yes, there is some truth into free, but free laundromat is not free renovation. It's not
Right.
a free retooling.
Mm-hmm.
It's not free many things is not free. You know what I mean? The
Absolutely.
down payment that you have to give to your utility companies, right?
None of that is talked about.
No, and it's kind of like under the rug. It's like it's okay. You should have $5,000 for the heat and for the water, for the electric,
Right.
and for you should have $5,000, and they'll give it to you when you die. But it's okay.
Maybe we should start changing the narrative from free laundromat to you didn't have to buy the business. You got the space. And really, you're not even getting the space for free if you really think about it, because you got to pay the landlord. So, but you could get a store. I've seen it once, maybe twice that I can think of, where the machines were, but they were older machines. These machines were like 20 years old in the store, and the person took over the lease. But are you going to really run a business with 20-year-old machines? And
You'd be surprised how many people want that and like that and enjoy that. I
Right.
mean, I can only say from what I see, but
right.
it's and I don't mean to cut you off,
No,
but
no,
it's
no.
just I think the best message or advice that I can give to future laundromat owners is that a free laundromat doesn't mean free renovation, free retool, and free, and like I said, there is the exception of the rule when you get a laundromat that have all equipment and the person leave and somebody comes and it still operates that way, and everything it was free. Yes, true, it was. Right. You didn't have to pay anything. Let's say you didn't have to put the couple $1,000 down payment for the National Grid or for the gas or for the okay, that's fine. You got everything free. You don't have to pay anything. But do you really want a store like that? Do you really want to keep it like that? And if you do, then for how long before you have to start infusing money into it?
Into it, right.
You know what I mean? Take it for what it is.
Yeah.
Because yes, it is free. And I know it's controversial because yes, it is free. But look, man.
Is it really
table, $500. Like, what?
Right.
And they go to Staples and buy $120. Yeah, but that's not the way
long
that
is it
I
gonna
roll.
last?
That's not how I wanted to keep my impression of.
And you said the key word, the impression. And there's nothing wrong. You want to get a $20 table from Staples, like a 6-foot, whatever, the picnic card
Work
table.
for you, man.
If it works for you, God bless.
Please.
But you said the impression that you want your business to have, that you want it to give off. I've followed some individuals online who are in this process where they're acquiring these free laundromats, and they're getting stores that are in a condition like you mentioned, where maybe the machines aren't that old, and the machines are being left behind, and they could operate it and get the business running. But you know what I see them putting in that I don't see people taking account for in this? So much sweat equity. Like, I see them spending hours and hours in these stores, and they're like fixing the machines themselves. They're moving the machines, or they'll go buy some used machines from somebody in another state or another city and then drive them back to the store and install them themselves. So how much does that cost us, the time that we're put? And when you said it early, the business gives them the flexibility to do that. You could take your time and invest it in it and not put out the capital. But we really need to start looking at it from the mindset of, there's two things. I can give my time, I can give money. And one kind of works with the other. If I put money into it, it frees me up my time to go do something else. But if I put my time in it, now I got capital that I didn't put into it because I'm putting my time into it. And we have to figure out, when you talk about that flexibility, which one of those two are you willing to give up to get the other? I'm to the point in this day and age where I'll give up some of the cash to free up the time and the flexibility so I can go work on, like you said, store number 2, 3, 4 to get to 5. It's a trade-off. Yeah, we could probably talk about that all day, but I'm gonna leave that alone. You really opened up a can of worms with the free laundromat. So when you look at the laundromat industry now, what are you most optimistic about?
I am optimistic about events that are coming up that organizations are putting together.
Awesome.
I seen some stores too that they are getting with the technology. They are getting with the like, I went to one store and it was, wow, it really looks nice, bright, shiny.
Mm-hmm. You touched on I heard you say technology when we were talking through this, and I'm looking at your washers right in front of us now, and you've got Dexter, and you mentioned to me you're using Dexter Pay. How has that technology on the back end with the machines really helped you have a better picture into what the machines are doing, what the store is doing, and like your financials.
Yeah, and actually, I learned it from you that you said in this industry we need more data, and we can collect more data of what we're doing. But you'd be surprised that you ask all the laundromat owners that use do quarters, and they don't know how much money they make in that day or in that month.
They're like weighing the quarters or use
Counting
the quarter counter.
Multiply it, and some of them are not even doing. No, man, I just put it here, put it there. I say, how much do you make, per day for a
They
week?
just look at the change machine. Like,
one guy asked me between 1,200 to 2,500. I said, dude, that's a big difference.
that's a big gap.
It's double almost, right? Like, hold on a second. How much? And with Esther Pay, I'm able to see how much I made that day,
Right.
that week, that month, the last month, compare it. And, in only 2 months and a half, I see that slow
That's good.
increase, which, like I said, is going to give me information for my next one. If I would have only quarters, then I wouldn't know. Like, it would be hard, and always was guesstimating
Right.
what I make and how much I make. But now with that, it just gives me the number right in front of me,
Right.
in that I can know how I'm growing, how is the steady growth, and know that number is going up slowly.
That's a good thing.
But it's going up, which tells me that you have to have patience when you open your store. Yes, it's very good to see with a click of a button how much money you made that day, how much money you made that same day a month ago.
Right.
And it's so funny because 2 days ago I went to the mall with my daughters and we went to Chick-fil-A, and we ordered, and it was like $48. It was like 11, and it was on a Monday, and I showed them. I said, look how much I have made in the laundromat. $35. How much we spend? Oh, Dad, we are minus 18 already.
That is phenomenal.
You eating too much, man.
Right, you feel like you ate all the money for the day, no profit. It's amazing, and I believe you even mentioned you can see how many quarters were even put into the machine when you use the technology.
You gotta know your numbers in order to grow your numbers.
Right.
You know what I mean? Even if your numbers are bad, look, at least you know that you're doing bad, but you have to know them. Don't live in this bubble that you have 2 buckets of quarters, like in those videos, right? Yeah, I'm making a lot of money, dude. You're not. Stop, misleading all the people that are coming into the industry or coming into owning a laundromat or want to do a laundromat just because you see a whole bunch of quarters. One guy came 3 weeks ago. Oh yeah, look, are you the owner? I said, dude, that's a tricky question, man.
It depends what you
If
want.
you're the IRS, maybe I'm not, FBI, I'm not. Oh, because I want to buy
You got a commercial
laundromat.
account. I'm the owner, right?
It's like, I want to get into a laundromat. I want to buy a laundromat. I'm watching couple videos already. For how long? For 3 weeks. Can you name me some names that you have watched? Well, I got to get back to you on that one. I was like, dude, before you do anything, man,
Right.
you have to do your homework. You have to research.
Not really doing
Ask
homework.
people, so I said, so what do you want to do? You want to come and give $300,000 because that's what the going ratio for the laundromat, right?
Right.
300, 250. $300,000 for a laundromat, give it, and start making money? Yeah. I was like, be a child of God.
So, as we kind of wrap this up, I heard you mention this number over and over, and I have to ask you. You mentioned 5 stores. Why is it 5? You didn't say, like, you've honed in on that number specifically. So I get the feeling, and my gut is telling me that number means something to you for us to hit 5 stores. Why is it 5?
Well, I think you don't really make that much money out of one store. Unless, like I say, it's really big and it's, it has all the bells and whistles and everything. But one store is more like a hobby type of thing. You know what I mean? It's look, like me, one store, I'm getting it as a lab, right? Like, the mistakes, trying this, trying that, this word, this doesn't work. And maybe that personal, I'm going to give you a crazy example. Maybe that personal dynamic thing may not work. And that's okay.
As you scale it, right.
That's okay. Let's say, 2 years from now, Waleed, I'm not saying hello to anybody, man. I'm not saying the name of anybody. They don't want to be called by the name. They're weird people, bro. But guess what? Now I'm not saying anybody. I'm going to treat them the way they want to be treated. You want your name, man? I don't call you. You want me to talk to you? I won't talk to you. You want me to open the door? I won't. But I'll be able to adjust, adapt, and overcome, right? And I think we were talking with you before, the gig economy with you.
Yep.
Gig economy versus not drivers. And then you were big into that once upon a time, and now you are maybe half and half.
Right.
Does that mean that you will run the other time? Does that mean that you will right? No, it means that you're a business person and you're adjusting, you're adapting, you're moving, you're trying.
That's it.
And if you're not making mistakes, that means you're not trying hard enough, right? Or enough things.
We're not trying anything
right?
different. We're just doing the same thing over
Right.
and over. Yeah.
So why will you want to be static, right? Go back to the dynamic. Try this. Maybe it worked. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe my other attendant was right. And if she was right, okay, cool. Now you're right.
Right.
But you're not going to come and tell me, no, you should try it that way. Dude, I tried. Saying the name of everybody, jokes and laugh and opening the door. They don't like it. So, but I'm fine with adjusting and moving on different directions. At the end of the day, is as long as you can give me what I want or what I want to get out of it, which is my flexibility with my family, with my health, be able to do the things that I want when I want, right?
Right.
Coming back with 5 stores. So one store is kind of a hobby. It's kind of luck. You're there. You're especially this small. I'm talking for myself. It's just it's not enough. Why do you see many people that own one store and they're never there? They're not there because they have the freedom. They're not there because they have a job that they have to work in order to probably infuse money into the laundromat.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's probably why you don't see them there, because they may be working up, maybe not. But
Or they're there all the time because they're the labor for the store.
and he's making $50,000. No, it's not. How much you paying yourself? Oh no, I just pay the bills and.
That's it. They don't. We got to factor that in.
Dude,
Your
somebody
time and salary.
working the amount of hours that you're working should be making at least $75,000. So you're losing $25,000 every year.
Right.
So with 2 stores, then now you're getting into the okay. Now we're making a little bit of money. Now you don't see the price in the menu when you go to a restaurant, right?
When you pull out the app now, when you're doing this, go to Chick-fil-A, you're like, okay.
You DoorDash a little bit more often. You know what I mean? Instead of tipping $2, you tip $5, right?
Like,
So,
I got 2 stores now.
it's like my daughter got an order for like $13. Dad, what is the 5? It's like, why 5? Well, you use minimum is 5, so I gotta give. Yeah, but it's $12. Dad, 5. Gotta give her $5.
Now I see why it's 5.
I was like, because the tip is more than the thing. But anyway, so that's the second story. Give you a little bit more. The third one now, it puts you on the map into making some money where you can put to your retirement. You can put aside for your kids' college. You can put money for later, take longer vacations. And then 4 and 5 then is just.
It becomes like the icing on the cake.
Yeah,
right.
4 and 5 is just yeah.
I get it. So now I totally understand why 5 is the number. You've totally mapped it out, and you looked at, as I add more stores, this is the multiplier, and this is what happens as an effect of it, versus the 5 just being like, I just want 5 stores. So I can say,
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
So it's still early in your journey with this. So I'll close with this question. It's 2 months in, give or take. Would you still buy a laundromat or get a free laundromat with everything you've learned and know so far? Would you do it all over again?
Yes, I will do it, but I'm glad and even proud of myself that I did it the way that I did it versus buying and not making a mistake of giving somebody $300,000 or $200,000 for a laundromat. I think the way that I did it is I guess for me and for my situation, it's a better way.
Right.
Starting from the ground up, building it, understanding, knowing what I now know, you know what I mean, that it's going to help me for my next store and the next store.
To build it up.
Yeah, to build it up. So, yes, I will do it again, but I will do it with this system of not free laundromat. We talk a lot about that already.
Yeah.
But understanding, and if you understand where you're getting into, I think that's going to be a key for your success later on. So yes, I will do it, and like I said, you have that flexibility of do the things that you want, man. I think that has a value that I wouldn't change it for anything. You know what I mean?
There's no price to put on that.
Yeah. So it's a good business. Yeah, if you do it the right way, if you know how to do it, it's definitely a profitable business.
Good to hear. And I really appreciate you opening the doors and letting myself and the team come and visit your store and see what you're doing, and sitting here and share your story with all of our viewers, our listeners in the community. I greatly appreciate it. I look forward to hearing store 2, store 3, and everything else that goes
Well, maybe
on.
no more.
Maybe.
Waleed, that's it, man.
Maybe you get more commercial and expand that, and it turns into something else. I just thank you for sharing that, and thank you for letting us be here today. I greatly
let's do it
appreciate you,
again
my
soon,
man,
bro.
and I look forward to having more conversations with you.
That's great, man. Let's do it again.
Absolutely.